Hey there, comic friends and fiends. It's Rob, and it is time for us to discuss what happens when you get a crap ton of books back from PGX. I talk about PGX. I know people have their opinions about PGX. And let me before as people are filtering here, I'll kind of get to that here. So PGX is one of three major grading companies. For those of you who aren't sure, CBS, CBCS, CGC, and PGX. And PGX people will have opinions about them, and some of those people have opinions based on personal experience, and some people have personal opinions based on what other people's opinions are, because that's what they've been told to believe, and it's the popular belief. So I went into 2019, or came out of 2019 into 2020. I'm going PGX was my major provider of grading services for 2020. What I grade was pretty much going into my PC. I'm not flipping, I'm not doing anything else. So it was a great, let me send a bunch of books there and see what happens. And over the course of 2020, I have sent about 150 books to PGX for grading and encapsulation. And this marks the final batch from 2020. So we'll be going through these. I'm going to give you, what has my opinion been, what's changed about my opinion, or has it changed throughout this time? And the biggest thing that I'm going to say with them is that my opinion started off pretty good, pretty fair. I had great experiences with PGX, and with people who are big fans of PGX, spelled out, hey, they got great customer service, they got this, they got that, and those were the experiences I had at the beginning. And now we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to tell you that my experience has changed over that time, and so we'll see what these are here in just a second. But so this shipment, what attracted me to PGX was, first of all, they were cheap and they were fast. 30-day turnaround time is the promise, including pressing, cleaning, grading, encapsulation, 30 business days. Try getting that for those of you guys been waiting 6 months, because that was my first experience with CGC as well. For everybody, 6 months, books out, where do they go? The other piece of it was they were inexpensive compared to the others. Fraction of a price, $13 for a modern book to get it slabbed. So that was really attractive to me because I got the bug. My sister and I took me to a Comic-Con. I bought my first slab and got the bug. From there on, I wanted to have a bunch of books slabbed, and so that's where it was. So anyways, this batch of books was sent in October. It was delivered to them on October 24th. They provided notification of receipt on November 10th. So yeah, that was already 15 days, having just from when it was delivered to them to when they notified me that they had received the books. And that was after I had actually sent them 2 emails saying, hey, did you get them? They gave me an estimated ship date of December 18th. So, okay, it's about 30 days. There's a holiday in there, everything else. The books then didn't ship. December 22nd, I received notification that the books were just going into pressing. So they had the books from their date of notification, November 10th, over a month went by and they hadn't even gone to pressing yet. So December 22nd, they go into pressing. That's after they were supposed to be done and shipped back to me. December 28th, I got a bill from them saying that they didn't do any pressing because I send them in for pre-screen. And this was another one of the reasons I do like about PGX is you can send your books in for pre-screen. They charge you nothing. And what they'll do is they'll look at it, and if the book will be improved by a pressing, they'll go ahead and do that. And if not, then they won't. So of these 30 books, they said that 0 of them would be improved by a pressing. That's got me nervous already, having not seen any of these grades on here, because invariably almost every book can benefit from a pressing to some degree. So anyway, so none of the books were supposedly pressed. And then finally, I received notification that these were shipping out to me on January 15th. So you can see where that 30-day failed. And this is, of course, after the previous shipment that I had from them. Some of you guys have seen it. My Shazam and She-Hulk that were sent with their under their 15-day turnaround time that took close to 40 days, I think, before they finally got them back to me. And then they were absolutely the worst things I'd ever seen in my life. So anyways, let's see what we got here today. Now I've taken them out of the box, but left them in their blue saran wrap so we didn't have to deal with packing peanuts and everything this whole time. So what they do is they'll put them in the big box, up to 30 in a box. That's the maximum for a single shipment. So if you do send stuff to them and want to maximize your return shipping, not having to pay as much for shipping per book, 30 is the max. They will put them in these blue cellophane wrap, then wrap them up with bubble wrap, and then wrap them up, packing with packing peanuts and packing paper and such. Send you a block of bags, which I'll set aside because I don't use these. I have my own. And I don't know why I got the subset of 3, but we'll start with this 3 first. So of these 30 books, I think 21 to 23 of these, we'll see, were signed books. So this is another reason PGX, like CBCS, they provide a signature verification, authentication service. So you don't have to have a book witnessed. They'll verify, authenticate the signature, and then go ahead and encapsulate it. So that's what was done here. So here we have, I'm going to be battling glare. I can tell this whole time because I'm using my white screen. This is Batman. No, this is Justice League. Oops. Let me go. Justice League #1. This is the Jim Lee series of Jim Lee covers that was done for these. I think this is Batman, and it's signed by Jim Lee. Where's my? See if I can get that signature in there. Here you go. You can see the signature in gold. And I'm going to minimize this. Our grade is 9.8. All right, very good. It's a good way to start off our thing. I'm a little bit. I guess it wouldn't have improved it by pressing. What do you know? All right, next on the list. All right, so this is Justice League #4. This is also signed by Jim Lee, featuring Wonder Woman, and a 9.8. I'm guessing since these were 3 that were separate, this one must be the one that is Superman, because it was a trifecta. And here, yep, sure enough, is Superman, Justice League #7, signed by Jim Lee, 9.4. Well, I do see a couple little nicks in the bottom corner, so that's fine. I did not actually expect these to all to get 9.8s, because some of these were books I bought secondhand from other people. These, I will say, so far, we're 3 books in. The seams, the comics on PGX are sealed inside here, and last time what I had was a lot of very skewed books. I'm hoping that they took the time to run these through quality control a little bit better to see what's going on. The one thing, though, that I'll show you with the big stack here in a second that they still haven't fixed is they do have issues with their slabs. We're drinking tonight. The PGX slab is by far, guys, if you've not seen any of my comparison videos of the grading companies, the PGX slab is by far of the 3, CGC, CBCS, and PGX, the PGX slab is by far the worst of the 3. It's flimsy, it's true. It's easy to take apart, it's true. Now, the comic book is sealed in a vacuum sealed with the label separate from the case, so it is a little bit tamper resistant, which is good. But they've had a manufacturing issue, and you can see this white line down this stack. I've noticed this a couple times lately with some of the CGC stuff I'm getting too, and I find it's been really bad with PGX. It's gotten a little bit better, but this is a rough spot. This is from the molding manufacturing process, and personally, I don't know what they're paying per slab for these things, but if I was either their mold, either their tooling is bad and worn, or they don't have any control over their manufacturer where they can kick it back to them and tell them, you're an idiot, I'm not taking this, because this is really detracts from some of these books. When you're holding it, it feels really weird. It's really rough. Some of them are worse than others. All right. Anyways, let's get back to taking a look at some of these. So this is J. Scott Campbell, Spider-Gwen, issue 24. This is from volume 3, Spider-Gwen here. This is it's not the first appearance of, wait, no, it is, I think it is the first appearance of Gwenum. Signed by J. Scott Campbell. 9.8. That's great. That makes this if it was a CGC book, it'd be over $200. But PGX. So next up here, the Peach Momoko signed Clone Wars Battle Tale. Who is this? It's a long Star Wars Adventures Clone Wars Battle Tales #1. It's a long. Bleh. So signed by Peach Momoko. 9.4. What is? Oh, okay. Well, but I guess there's. I'm not gonna be able to show it. So there is this white background down in here. There's a bad crease actually in this book. I don't know that it wouldn't have pressed out though. They claim it wouldn't have, so they didn't even try. For what this book goes for, this very well may be going to CBCS now to try to validate it. Anyways, all these books were signed beforehand, so. All right, Strange Academy on the backside. So yes, this is the J. Scott Campbell Strange Academy #1. How's it going there, old man? This is 9.8. So very good there. This book is, again, I'm looking at it. So far, I am happy with how these books are squared inside the case. No issues with that thus far. So knock on wood. All right, we have Peach Momoko Venom issue 26, The Virgin. Well, they got a lot of writing on here. What does this say? Oh, first, this has got the whole first distributed appearance of Virus, intended as second appearance, distributed free comic book day, yada, 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 COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. So the same stuff that you get from on the CGC. Probably not have lifted it from CGC. I don't know. 9.8. Very good. Excellent. Hey there, David. All right. So again, we're doing well here so far. I haven't argued with anything yet. The books are straight. I mean, they can't put their logo, their seal on the backside is at an angle, but hey, those are minor. I could care less about that. All right, here we go. Venom 26, signed by Tyler Kirkham. 9.8. 9.98. Another square. Looking good. So, keep on chugging. Ooh. In case you guys are wondering, it is tonight Russell's Reserve 10-year. This is a beautiful book. One of my, I've said it once, I'll say it again. The Peach Momoko sketch covers are by far better than any of the other quote unquote sketch covers. Most of the sketch covers we see released are nothing more than line drawings that are ready to be inked that just haven't been inked yet. Whereas these are true rough sketches with the underlines. You can see the shaping, you can see the process the artist goes through. Absolutely gorgeous books these are. And we get a 9.8, keeping it nice and beautiful. Very good. All right, next up, we got another Venom. There's a lot of Venom books. Oh, look at another Peach. I think there's a lot of Peach Momokos in here too. I had them stacked up for a while. Venom number 27. This is, according to it, the first full appearance of Codex. Survey says 9.8. Bravo. I'm actually impressed, to be honest. Now, granted, a lot of these are low print runs or anything else, but I'm still impressed that there's no, or suspect, I guess, there's none of these were pressed. Okay, this one is not a 9.8. I guarantee if this is a 9.8, then we have serious problems. This is Wildcats, number 1, signed by Jim Lee. This has been kicking around the boxes for a while, and when I looked at it, I knew it wasn't going to be a 9.8, but I wanted to get it authenticated and get it encapsulated to preserve it. So I was guessing that this was probably a 9 to a 9.2 was my guess on this guy when I sent it in, and the survey says 9.2. So okay, so we're good on that, and we get the nice. Remember this, guys? Look for your back issues. All right, Jim Lee goodness. All right, here we go. Wolverine number 1, Tyler Kirkham. This is from the Wolverine, the current run. Tyler Kirkham doing homage to the Hulk 181 cover, and survey says 9.8. Okay, very good. That is a nice little Omega Red in the background there. Anything else instead of Wendigo? All right. This is, okay, another Peach Momoko line drawing. This is Wind, number 1. This is a little independent series that Tinian was doing based on his childhood, he says. Another 9.8. Very good. And continuing. All right. I know that Daniel Peterson does subscribe to my channel. And I will say, Daniel, I'm very happy thus far with the quality control on these books. They are in there straight, consistently. The labels are straight. I don't have any argument there on that. So very good. Okay. Batgirl, issue 25, Josh Middleton signed book. 9.8. Moving right along. Another Josh Middleton, Batgirl, issue 29, signed by Josh Middleton. And survey says 9.8. Excellent. Nice cover. Picture of, would this be a picture in picture? I don't. All right. We're halfway there, folks. Don't look at it, Rob. All right, this is another one that's probably not a 9.8. This is an older book. This one was one I bought from a live show from the folks at the Underground group for Key Collectible Comics. Had a smeared signature. I bought it, and then I actually ended up getting it for free because when it got here, the signature had got some smearing on it, and it wasn't described that way, and so they refunded me my money and said I could keep the comic. So it's a freebie book. I held on to it, and I contacted them and asked. I sent a picture of it and asked PGX ahead of time. Said, "Hey, I got this smeared signature. It's not too bad. Is there enough there? Do you think that you can still authenticate it or not?" They came back and said, "Yeah, probably." So went ahead and sent the book in, and sure enough, there we go. Signed Greg Capullo, Batman New 52, issue 1. 9.4. And that doesn't totally surprise me. I would have probably guessed it was probably in the 9.4, 9.6 range. Just, it's got some, the corners got a little bit of corner rub on the bottom corners, all really. So it's a little confusing because the design on the back of it is a design that looks like the cover's really tore up, but then you realize that it's actually the design of the cover. Very kind of confusing. And sometimes when you get those covers, I'm really nervous about sending them in, that the grader's not going to realize that that's how it is. Although I guess they probably see enough of them that it gets added to their notes. All right, our last stack here as we could chug through these. What do we got here? Okay, this is another Batman New 52 book, probably also not a 9.8. My guess is probably like a 9.4, 9.6 as well. This is our it says it denotes spoiler Stephanie Brown appearance. Yes, but that's not the big thing. This is this book, actually the key to it is Bluebird making her first appearance, and that's a character who might be coming back potentially. We've already seen her sprinkled in the new series, and could be a person that she's a tech person that doesn't want to be necessarily on the street. She could be an Alfred replacement potentially. Who knows? Anyways, so there's signed by James Tynion, Batman 9.6. Good. All right. I will take that. That seems legit to me. All right. We have, okay, so Batman, The Adventures Continues. Now, this could be an interesting spec in its own right. Jason and I were just talking about this. So we saw the news drop that Batman, the animated series for HBO Max is going to be, it's already there now, but they're talking about now relaunching it and doing additional episodes, or basically like a season 2, a version 2, whatever of it. Here we already have a title, Batman Adventures Continues, which basically was meant to pick up right where the show left off. So is there spec in here? We already have that potential. And a first appearance of a character that's been created for her with Deadpool's new, or not Deadpool. What the heck's the other guy? The frickin', I'm drawing a blank. I'm an old man. The Deadpool's based off of. God, Slade Wilson. What's his you guys will tell me. Slade Wilson, what's his character? I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Anyways, he had a sidekick. So Batman Adventures Continues, number 1. We here have signed by Peach Momoko. There's your 9.9, Jason, that you're asking about. We got ourselves a 9.9, Peach Momoko. That seems, I mean, the book is pristine. It's just a 9.9 on an unpressed book that went to Japan to get signed and back. Oh, scanning it, I can't find a damn thing wrong with it. So there, Deadshot? No, that's not Deadshot. Deathstroke. There you go. Thank you, Digger. Yeah, Deathstroke was the character that I was thinking of. I don't read enough. Well, maybe I do. I just should. All right, so we got another Batman Continues number 1. This is the Warren Lowe, signed by Warren Lowe. Down in the corner here, that made homage to Batman Adventures 12. 9.8. We will enjoy that one. That is a pretty book. Just look at that. Let me see. Look at that. All right. Okay, now this. All right, so this book here, Peach Momoko, Black Cat number 1. This book, when I purchased it from Sanctum Sanctorum, it was discounted because it was in the damaged lot. So they were saying, hey, look, this is not a 9.8 book. I bought it knowing that full well, thinking, let's take a look and see what it was. I got it home. I think, okay, it's got some corner crunch. We can press that, and we can probably get something good out of it. And so I don't see anything, but they didn't press it. They said, but I do see what's really kind of concerning. I see a piece of, looks like there's a piece of plastic inside here of the case. But anyways, all right, let's do the reveal. Black Cat, number 1, 8.5. Ouch. Now, I did request greater notes to be put on the back label for anything of a 9.2 or less. So I do have that here, and it says cover wear with light creases. Well, if it had light creases, why the hell didn't you press it? And I can't tell the cover wear in this. Well, I'll look at it more later. But the cover wear, I see some spots that this kind of concerns me. I see spots where they might say there's cover wear, but that's part of the art. I don't remember there being cover wear of any substance. Oh, okay. Along the spine, there's a little bit. Meh. All right, whatever. I still think it could have pressed out and should have been better than that. That one might have to go be pressed by a friend of mine and see if I can get it out. And if so, then I might send it off to CBCS. Okay, Dr. Tomorrow, issue 3, Peach Momoko. I know nothing about this title. This was purely a cover buy. I was on Peach Momoko kick. I can't help it. We collect what we collect for some dumb reason. 9.8. It's signed by Peach Momoko. So that's nice. I want to thank you guys all for joining us. Make sure if you like the channel, we do a lot of unboxings on this channel, although I'll start doing alternating on here with the show. If you were part of the show at 6 p.m. Pacific time with Jason Slotted Up 503 and I, we have our weekly show, Sidekicks Talking Comics. It'll be on Thursdays on a recurring basis, alternating between our shows. So make sure you sub us up and sub each other up, by the way, guys, to help each other out. When I started this show, we're at like 235 on subscribers. 250 is our next giveaway. I'm going to have like 2 or 3 different 9.8 slabs for the winner to choose from. And we'll do some little thing once we hit 250 and hold it. So here we go. Edge of the Spider-Verse, Gwen Stacy. This is the comic bug variant, and this is, of course, the first appearance of Gwen Stacy. Now, having said that, there is something to be aware of, and buyer beware. This is something I found out the hard way, and I got burned. Apparently, on this color version, there are 2 different printings of it. There is the first printing, and there is a 6th printing. Only known way you can tell is to read the barcode and read that it ends in 6 instead of 1. And this is a 6th printing, unfortunately, which means it's worth jack and squat, unless I'm unscrupulous, since it's not called out here, and sell it to somebody like somebody sold it to me, which I wouldn't do. I'll stick it in my collection because I like to have another copy. Oh, she's over here. That one's there. She's on the wall. Anyways, survey says 9.4. Well, I don't know. It's not a 9.8, so I don't want anyone telling me it looks like a good book to me on surface class. So don't anyone tell me that they're just too easy. Let's get this ball back moving again. Fallen Angels 2. Another Peach Momoko cover there with X-23 running through the woods with the wolves. Beautiful little cover. 9.6. Okay. I'm sure that it's got some little edge wear or something along the spine. That's pretty common. I bought it from a toy store, actually, online, so not even a comic shop. So there you go. Peach Momoko, Ghost Spider issue 8. This is, of course, homage to Ghost Spider 2, or I think it was, where Peach Momoko cover did the first one that launched 1 billion Peach covers. 9.8. Ooh. All right. So we have Ji Hung Lee, Gwen Stacy, issue number 2. Trying to get this so you can see. Signed and remarked. 9.4. You make me sad. I have sad face. Cry. Why? I'm going to look over that one later, but that is still a beautiful book. That's a beautiful remark. Let me try to get that without so much glare on it there. Oh, look at that. Color remark. This was a book I got directly from Ji Hung Lee from the artist. He was selling it like this raw. It was like $70 with the remark because it wasn't. It was just going to come with a COA. He's got, when you buy from him direct, if you're going to have it go through CGC, they're like 200 and something bucks. But yeah, claim, no doubt. That's the. It is a good book. I'm happy to have it anyways. I got about that is just pretty. All right. Where am I at? Oh yeah. Oh. All right. So this is a convention variant Harley Quinn number 19. It is signed by Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, Aunt Lucia, and Chad Hardin. 4 times signed. Convention exclusive book. Amanda and Chad Hardin's over here. I can get that in there. God, this glare from the screen. And Jimmy. All right. So, and of course, this is with the Gotham Bombshells cover. So what do we get? 9.8. Excellent. Always good to have a 9.8 4 times signed book. This one is not straight. It is cockeyed in there. And now let me show you, when you have a book inside a PGX slab that's cockeyed, what they've told me to do. Now we did it too much. Now we did it too much. Now we got it fairly straight. Really, that's how we frickin' handle. And I'm sure that's really great for the book inside there. It won't scratch it up at all, right? Anyways, 4 times signed. Okay, this is a 3 times signed Harley Quinn. This one's going to really be hard to get because it's shiny foil. So this one can't possibly be a 9.8 because it's a foil cover, and I can see there are dings along the spine. I knew that when I sent it in, but this was all about the signatures. Amanda Connor, Jimmy Palmiotti, and Paul Dini, co-creator there on there. Harley Quinn convention foil cover. 9.4. Nice. So that's good. And I'll agree with that. I mean, the cover is great, except for some little minor indentations along a bunch of several spine ticks. Matter of fact, I don't know. The spine ticks looking at the backside are significant enough. I might have dinged it a little bit more to a 9.2, but at least we didn't, none of the people who hate PGX can say it's because, oh, it was a 9.8. Ha ha ha. No, it's not. All right. Moving right along. Yeah, PGX does do authentication of your of signatures. It's $15. So again, when you're this is again why, guys, for me as somebody, if I want to do a bunch of slabbing for my personal collection, $13 for the slab, $15 for a signature. Then if I have additional signatures after that, it's like $10 for additional signatures. So a book like that with 4 signatures, I'm talking 13 plus 15 plus 30, so you're talking about $50 something, sure. But Go do that on CBCS. That becomes $100 and something book. So, and when you start doing 20, 30 books, it's a big difference. It starts stacking up. And so if you want to be able to do a bunch, you got to make that decision. Now, right now, I'm back into kind of spreading around more, much heavier, and sending stuff to CGC and CBCS. And so far, these PGX has redeemed themselves somewhat here in my eyes on this run here. I will continue to keep them in the mix, just not as heavily, probably. I want to see some improvement on their turnaround time, and I want to see some improvement on the slab. I know that Daniel Peterson has told me that there is there's some changes coming to their slabs, but he's not able to talk about it much right now because it's not finalized. Yes, they don't pay Comic Hunter. You can send it in with your COAs if you want. I did. They're just going to box them up, send them back to you. They get separated and don't go like CBCS. It's not part of the signature authentication process. So they're going to charge you whether it has a COA or not. Because as we talk about COAs, guys, I mean, there are some in here that are good, right? That were inside of a bag. Like this bag had a tamper-proof seal on it that once you pulled this open, it left void residue and stuff on there, and the seal was gone, and it's no good. But then there's an equal number of these COAs, like these Golden Apple COAs, that simply say that this certificate verifies the accompanying item has been witnessed. It doesn't reference what the book is, doesn't reference who the artist is, doesn't reference anything. I can take this, I can scribble on somebody else's comic book, put this in there, and then I can say, look, it's got a signed COA. Doesn't mean squat. So that's why COAs won't be taken for that. They do have a witness program, though, too, that if books are witnessed, I'm not sure, though, how much that comes into play because haven't seen them at a convention to do witnessing stuff. So, but anyways, Harley Quinn 75. This is the J. Scott Campbell variant. The only one of the variants that I picked up. It was the A cover, usually the bigger one, but I liked it better because it featured both Harley Quinn and Punchline on the cover as opposed to a connecting cover. So it's all simple in one. Survey says 9.8. Hooray! And this was a J. Scott Campbell exclusive, of course, the last in the run of the Harley Quinn. Although, of course, now they're talking about a new Harley Quinn title once again. Last two. Let's crank this out and finish this up here. Where the hell did this come? No, this is there's another Warren Lowe. I thought I did this book already. How much I had two books that were similar. It happens. One must have been the full trade dress, and the other one was probably a minimal trade dress. That's probably what it was. So once again, Warren Lowe, Batman Adventures 12, done in an homage to the Batman Adventures 12, which of course is on this year's Grail Get list for me. 9.8. Although it won't be a 9.8 because I want to stay married. All right. As long as I avoid conventions and don't go to conventions with my sister, I'll be fine because she'll find ways to convince me to spend my money. Last book here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Jenica, number 3. I don't know any of this. I don't read Ninja Turtles, any of this. Again, just a cover by. This is the Virgin. And survey says 9.8. So there you are. I will say, like I said, in recap, after how badly I felt about PGX after the Shazam She-Hulk, and the fact that those ended up having to go to another grading company because they didn't talk to me about fixing it. I am happy with the quality control on these books this go around again. These are pretty much all staying in my PC, so they're for me. So price, that was an issue. That's why I've talked about before. Turnaround time, unfortunately, wasn't what it was promised, even remotely. But let's be honest, even though it was twice as long as it should have been, it was still a third of the time that it would take for it to go to CGC and stuff. So yeah, I would say that it was a good batch of books. Only one of them was cockeyed a little bit, banged it into place. They'll stay in the mix. I'm going to try them out, continue to go. Hopefully, they're going to go ahead and continue to improve, and we'll hopefully see very soon these new cases drop that Daniel's been talking about. Let's see. Sniper Light says you can request the COB encapsulated in the back. Also, they've done it for me on a few items as well. Worked with solid COAs, of course. Yeah, probably could. I've seen PGX has also done some for some people's kids where they've had kids do their children have done some sketch covers and then they've authenticated them and stuff and other stuff. But my biggest concern really with encapsulating a COA inside the box or inside the slab is I'm not sure that it would actually benefit anything because it's already being in the gold labels. It's already authenticated. But also, as you can see, if I can slide this book around inside here, I'm concerned about that COA moving all over the place, and I'd want it in one spot. But hey, I usually do with them is I'll take these COAs, and when I put these inside my bags, I'm just going to drop them inside the bag. The turnaround time at PGX, so they claim 30 business days turnaround time for the books, and that includes if you want to have them do the pressing, it's supposed to include the pressing as well. They've been they've been saying that they've been backed up and slow right now because they've had back-to-back whammies this year. They've had issues, of course, with COVID and reduced staff and having to realter their production space, but also they're located in Oregon, and they had issues with the fires, shut them down for periods of time as the west coast of the United States was engulfed in flames. So most of my 2020, I would say the 30 business day turnaround time with pressing was fairly accurate. Now, I say fairly because they were late almost every single time, but usually it was only by a couple days. And that's fine. It's about, they tell you. So that's fine. The last since the summer fires, I've had longer issues. They also say they're having some supply chain issues getting them some of their issues with the slabs themselves. So CBCS just took 60 days for signatures and slabbing. That's pretty good. I know that there's a lot of talk on their forums right now about this. Well, signature and slabbing this one, it's pressing that's the real issue. So if you don't have it pressed at CBCS, then yeah, you're probably 60 days is about right because they list their times and they add up. It's not concurrent, it's cumulative, and each of those add up to be about roughly 60 days. So that's about their target. It's right now is pressing at CBCS that's the real issue, that they're backed up, and they were backed up to begin with, and then they ran a promotion in October. And that just backed them up even worse. And basically all those got cut in line and everything else. So, yeah. So that's exactly, yeah. I just, when I put them in the bag, put that COA in there, then it's there and everything's good to go there. So, yeah, I think it was a pretty good haul, good set of books there, a lot of signatures books. I've got, I'll probably send a few more books out to them. I haven't sent any in a little while to them. I was waiting for these to come back so I could evaluate them before I do. Normally, I have some out about halfway through their grading. Right now, most of my books are out at either CGC or CBCS. I sent them a bunch of books that need to be signed or have signature authentications. And then I've got some Silver Age stuff that needs to be done, which I probably won't send to PGX just because they're not likely to stay in my personal collection long term. They are books that I'm probably going to turn around and flip at some point. And for that purpose, whether or not you're a PGX fan or not, we all understand that what there is the reality is that the collectors will pay more for a CGC than a PGX. So on when you're talking about bigger books that you're willing to flip. I'm not going to argue. I will go CGC and pay the extra dollars that it costs me to have it graded there in order to reap the 10, 12 times greater than my increased cost of grading. That's the key word there, 10 to 12 times my increased cost of grading, not 10, 12 times cost that I would get from an exchange on the book there. Cool. All right, guys. I appreciate you all joining in and watching through this. And again, hit the like, subscribe. Make sure in the replay, if you're watching this on the replay, I'll make sure to put Jason Slatted Up 503's information there, so you can subscribe to him too, so you can catch Jason and I on our Thursday at 5. I think. Well, our Thursday show, evening show, Sidekicks Talking Comics. Until next time, guys, collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody. Use your own experience and get what you want. Especially don't listen to me. I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.